Alrighty. Just check on. What's up, everybody? Just bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just getting set up here. How do I get rid of that? Okay. Let's go to. Bear with me, guys. Where's my view tools option? Okay. So right now we did not have a 15-minute chalk. To me, this high is going to likely be weak. I know we're at a structural level within. However, I do think that if we're going to see some sort of, might have like a tradable reaction that we could take from here, but we're kind of we're aligned with you know, the pullback here. The problem with this is that, yeah, we have equal lows to potentially go into, but yeah, we're gonna get some turbulence down here. So we'll look and see if we can get some confirmations in this region to maybe play this. To me, this is pro swing levels. But yeah, we're counter order flow. So we needed that 1 minute chalk, and I think we got it at the extreme refinement. Let's just go down to the 1 minute and see. Oh yeah, this is from yesterday, I see. So yeah, we do have the extreme refinement. We've swept into it. Yeah, so criteria is here to take a sell. So we might look to do that. Wait and see how this shapes up. Oops, off the 5. Not bad. Like, yeah, I mean, you definitely could have potentially gotten yourself involved with like a 5 second. There wasn't a whole lot of criteria. If you're looking at it, you're kind of chasing this down, right? So I would say, yeah, I'm going to be waiting. Like, I mean, technically you could have. If the question is, could you have? Yes. I think we're going to come back up and sort of visit this area. Sorry, I'm just trying to set up for some reason, my expert advisor is not loading. Second here. Yeah, that's weird. Tools, options. Expert properties. Tools. Automated trading. Oh, that's weird. Okay, jump off the 5-second. My bad, guys. Not really time to do that just yet. So the ideal setup here is to essentially get this corrective sort of nature, come back down, realign, and then be able to enter either like this or with a sell stop to kind of come down, provided we get a good bit of liquidity that's produced. So we're very, very bullish in terms of order flow. So we've got the 1 minute chalk, but it looks like it's realigning. So I'm going to be looking for some sort of realignment on that lower time frame. Liquidity to take, liquidity to target. And we'll go from there. To a 30-second, 2 minute, 1 minute. Just trying to see if we have like a clear sort of level in here. Flip zone that we're sort of dabbling in right now. Flip doesn't really take liquidity. Yeah, I'm going to wait for those highs to get taken and we'll start to look for something up there. Whoever's got their mic on, if you wouldn't mind, can you just make sure that you guys are muted? Thank you. Okay. Let's go back out to the 15 just for a sec while this sort of builds up. Rationalize whether or not this even makes sense. Tapped into structure, pushed down, failed to take out the low. This high could potentially be weak. That's the problem with the order flow shifts, is like we don't really know exactly what's going to happen. Like we still have the unmitigated extreme that I'm curious about as well. So if we saw a pullback like this, swept up, like this might be a better position longer term, but there might be a tradable reaction that we can take down into just a potential 15 or a 5 or a 10-minute week low. 4 hour. Yeah, this doesn't break anything really that relevant either. Chances are we're going to be moving forward from here, to be honest. Yeah, you like that? Like, we're getting pretty high in price, but this is also an option temporarily that I may look into. We've got the order flow sort of realignment. We're really high in price. That's the only reason I'm not like particularly fond of longs right now. But yeah, I would tricky play. See if the cells present. That's all. Oh yeah, I'd be managing like like we have a lot of things against us here, right? So yeah, we don't have a whole lot to like target. The only thing I would get interested in is like if we mitigated something like this and we chop back up and then showed some sort of we're just really fighting like what order flow is doing. So personally, I think that we're going to go higher. I don't know that I would look for anything substantial for a sell here, to be honest. And just zooming out, looking at what the higher time frame is doing, like we don't really have reason to want to pull back it just because we're at a structural level. Like I would probably want to see some form of larger take, and then we would look for a better sell into this area, right? So that's just my 2 cents. Whether or not you want to look for one is entirely up to you. Personally, I'm not super fond of like how we've delivered into this. Like this isn't a sweep, right? This is like a huge break of structure, whereas this is a sweep, right? This is a sweep followed by an immediate reaction. We're getting very poor delivery out of here. So POIs gain relevance by the delivery more than anything else, at least in my opinion. To be honest, I probably won't even look for a sell here. I think the high is going to get ran, man, to be honest. Like if I'm looking for a good tradable reaction, like this is the area that I'm going to want to see it. I'm going to want to see some form of like either like a pullback, sweep up, and then kind of crash down, right? Just looking at this, it's poor delivery into the POI, in my opinion. Doesn't mean there won't be a sell setup, but you have to pick and choose what's going on too, right? We're just very, very counter order flow right now. Yeah, exactly. Kind of, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. If you look at see how much liquidity we had to target over here. We don't have anything here, right? like to me, longs are almost favorable from here to take this higher. But I don't know that I would take a long right now, just this high in price personally, but would you want to see a 15-minute chalk at the 4-hour extreme? Yeah, like, I mean, either that or if we're at the extreme, we could technically, depending on how we get in there and what it looks like. Yeah, it's just going to depend on, yeah, all those variables, right? Well, I'll know more once we get up there, Lucas. See how it's built. See what we have. Oops. Taking a scalp here, guys. Just on the mitigation of this. Cool, just got tagged in. Yeah, I took a buy limit. Just a limit order. Yeah, I got filled. Might get ran into the low here. One L. Why is I had to re-download MT4 and it's a fucking pain. There's none of my settings saved. Yeah, so like I said, right now I'm not necessarily looking for cells in here. Still think this high is probably going to get ran, to be honest. Why is oops. Yeah, it looks like that's the fuel to probably push this move a little bit higher. So let's just zoom out and just show you exactly what it is that would be favorable for me personally. Probably want to see like a nice tradable reaction off something like this. Nice flip demand below. We get depends on how we get delivered towards the demand. Yeah, exactly. What do we tap into here potentially? in here. Sit and wait. See what happens. Nothing running right now. So I'm just going to, let's go to 15. Sorry, I'm trying to set up my MT4 at the same time, guys. Excuse me. 15 supply. Yeah, order flow wants to take out these highs, right? We haven't taken out anything that relevant down here. So order flow just wants to keep pushing this way. Just sit and wait. Let's go over, actually have a look at the plays earlier. This was a nice play right here. I don't know when this happened. Right at London Open, by the looks of it. Demand range. Oops. Yes. Yeah, this would have been a nice trade. Stream refinement, possibly get into the seconds. Let's up and have a look. Chalk, come back down, or full realign, sweep. Yeah. Anybody take longs in London off of that level? Negative. It'll be interesting to see what happens at this high up here. I'm going to get some form of reaction for sure. It's just whether or not it's going to do anything relevant, right? Because you can just see that the delivery is super poor right now. Unless we built a bunch of this to sweep and then come down, then this would probably just be used for fuel to then come back up and take out equals, right? So this is, adapting to the market and just understanding what's happening. And right now it looks like this high actually wants to get taken to kind of come up into this more extreme area up here, is what I'm gathering at least. So I had yeah, 4 hour, like you can definitely see it just had a hard time coming down further, right? So, I mean, it looks like we definitely want to go, or at least make an attempt to go higher, possibly even higher than this, to be honest. Looks like we could push, up into stuff like this potentially even. But traded the edge out at a structure point yesterday, right? Trade this down and now we just wait. Read the confirmations, right? Yeah, the 4 hours super clear. Yeah, I think we're going to grow some legs here and start flying by the looks of it. Does this interact with anything? That's tap it either. This would have been tricky to get into. This thing's going to run, I think, now. Yeah, we've chalked here, chalked back up after taking liquidity, right? Interaction, possible flip. There it goes. All right. So for me, that like obviously it looks like you can see it a lot clearer on the higher time frame, but possibly looking for something in this flip zone, something like this. This might be our next next best option. Pro trend, pro order flow. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Could you also take a look at the daily leg to see where price can potentially go if we break 4-hour structure? Yeah, let's have a look. It's tough to say right now. I mean, fucking hell. Loads of liquidity built. Looks like we're just respecting the shit out of this low right now. It's very hard to say how high this could really go, but yeah, the most recent break is here, right? Here's your structure point right here. If we break through this, I mean, we could easily see something like this before seeing some form of a pullback. You know, liquidity to take, liquidity to target, depending on the delivery. Hey, man. Yeah, loads of liquidity now. Oops. Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait for that next potential buy opportunity, depending exactly what you want to do. We could also, like, depending on what we do at this level, if we end up breaking structure like this, we could then potentially take this yeah, pro trend aligned with 15-minute to be able to come into demand level and then look for longs, or ideally wait for the longs to sort of set up, right? This is just a failed reaction is all this is. This is very, very weak right now. Yeah, it's unfortunate too. Like, we didn't really have anything, like we had the sweep. We didn't have anything that we actually interacted with over with demand. So it would have been tough to sort of get into this, but yeah, this thing's going to run. This thing is going to rip the looks of it. The other thing too is like getting into this as your structural leg, internal structure. Pretty close. Pretty close. Fight order flow. Name of the game here. Yeah, this thing's gonna rip. Bad day for sellers. Yeah, it's about time for for some sort of a deeper pullback, I think, on EU. Yeah, it's pretty well inevitable at this point. Shouldn't say that. It's not inevitable, but it's definitely something that yeah, it's kind of like long overdue for sure. Looks very, very oversold. Textbook flip. Inducement. See if this gets some legs. It's not a chalk, right? It doesn't actually take the low. There we go. Uh, yeah, I mean, we could look at what ends up happening around these sort of levels down in here as well. I'm not looking to trade this personally. I'm just looking at the, yeah, I'm not executing any position in here. personally. This is yeah, it's not doing what I need it to do around a level that I want to trade. So I'm just looking at what's happening and just kind of observing. Yeah, just watching order flow, man. That's it. And there she goes. See if there was anything on the, yeah, there's your chalk and flip, right? Chalk, flip, potentially get in. Like I said, I'm not getting in here just because we didn't hit anything that relevant for me, just based off of like where we're reacting from in general. So yeah, I'm just being a little bit more cautious. So they have some nice options for plans. Are they a pretty reputable company? Personally, I can't say yes or no. I had done a trial with them back in, oh my God, I think it was January. And yeah, they had awful spreads. They had like a 0.7 pip spread. Excuse me. And no commissions, which is fine. It's, you know, to each their own, depending on like what style of trading you do, obviously. But for me personally, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. So they had sent out an email because I guess I had signed up, and they now have a zero, or sorry, not a zero spread. It's a 0.2 to 0.3 spread with about, I think it's $5 or 450 round trip is what the email said. I can't remember exactly what the number is for comms. It might be enticing to some people just based on the fact that it's single day funding, depending of course on whether or not you pass criteria. They do have, from what I remember, it's an 8% max drawdown and a 5% daily. So yeah, I can't vouch whether or not it's a reputable company. I'm sure it is. But yeah, they've just kind of changed up their structuring in terms of how their commissions are sort of paid and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, might be something worth looking at. Yeah, I would. It's the cool part is they offer the trial, right? So it's risk free. Whereas like MFF, I'm not sure who else, but yeah, MFF doesn't offer a trial version. So yeah, nice to try before you buy, kind of see how it operates and stuff. So yeah, definitely let me know if you do. I know when I was on their website, they were kind of promoting that they had this new dashboard and stuff too. So I checked out just like the aesthetic of the website. It's super nice. They've done a really good job. Not that that really matters too much, but yeah. FTMO and MFF are identical spreads. It's about that 0.2 to 0.3 with the 350 round trip, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's very similar to both of them. They are, from my understanding, with E8, you are a little bit cheaper. And I believe they have a $250,000 funding option as well for, I think it's like $1,000 US. Anyways, just something, it's another option. A lot of people looking for different options and stuff like that. MFF is a lot of people having issues with, not issues, but just didn't realize that the live market slips you up as much. Obviously, yeah, they play around with stuff too. I'm almost certain of it, but yeah, just another option to kind of explore and do your own research, obviously, and check out what they have. FTMO, in my opinion, is one of the better ones to go with. I mean, obviously they're the goat. It's a longer process, a little bit higher targets, which aren't an issue, but play the long game, right? The carrot that kind of gets dangled in front of your nose with E8 is the idea of like you could be funded in one day, right? So that's like their big, like, I guess, shtick, you could say. But in terms of like, yeah, how it works and how it's used, I can't vouch just based on the fact that, yeah, I'm not funded with them. I'm not going to be going over charts right now, Luke. We're going to just be watching the market. So later on, if you want to throw it in the chat, by all means, happy to look at it. But yeah, not going to be doing that on these live calls. Yeah, just throw it in the trading question section and or your trade end of day markups, and just make sure you tag me, and I'm happy to provide some feedback. You're welcome. Time for meditation. There's the sweep of the POI potentially. See what ends up happening. It also has a $1 million scaling plan. I think it's something like 100K starting, and you need to have 16% a month to get 100K. Cool. Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of reading on it. I'm just I figured I would mention it because, like I said, I got the email from them just saying that, and the main reason I didn't end up trying to get funded with them was just based on the spreads. Zero comms with 0.7 spread, and obviously with the way that we trade with the seconds and stuff like that, that's not an optimal way to sort of trade. So yeah, let me know what you end up digging up, and if you end up taking a challenge or whatever it might be, would love to hear how you end up panning out with it. Get the sweep, boom, starts to move. Here's your flip zone. Did you look at a sell from the 1 minute supply zone that got wicked? No, no. Order flow is way too bullish right now to be looking for sells, in my opinion. We need to see something shift to really, yeah, be able to confirm that that we want to switch over to sells. I think that, yeah, we're going to see bullish order flow for some time now. Just looking at the higher time frame. If you look at this, like the main thing is obviously the expectation that a lot of people had was that this is going to take out the low, and that's just not the case. Like we have unmitigated demand levels along the way. We're going to form probably a bunch of liquidity, but we need to sweep, we need to come down, we need to break, sweep, and then be able to, you know what I mean? Like there's a big process that needs to happen in order for us to, yeah, essentially start to look for sells. So yeah, you can just see there's a very like super failed reaction in this level right now. So yeah, just be careful. Be very careful. We want to see something substantial happen to be able to confirm it's something like this, right? Like we had this, you know, we had this change of character, we had a flip zone, right? Push down, liquidity to take, liquidity to target, came into the low. Order flow has now shifted, back aligned with this shift. We're reacting to higher time frame potential demand on the weekly, you know what I mean? So nobody wants to predict the market, but I mean, chances are we're going to see these highs get ran. There's all kinds of liquidity above them. That's kind of my prediction right now. So positioning yourself for that is definitely favorable. Guys, I'm just mapping zones that you can look at. I'm not going to explicitly tell you to trade from these zones, but all of these to a certain degree make sense, right? Here, this zone is mapped, level of liquidity to take, swept the POY, came back down in, you know what I mean? So criteria is here. The only thing that I'm reluctant, or only reason I was reluctant to take a trade was due to the fact that we weren't necessarily reacting to anything to the left, right? We just kind of took liquidity, but this is just order flow realignment, right? So probably in hindsight should have got involved, but it's all good. Coming back into the potential flip. There's your flip mitigated. Bye. She going. Anybody take this? Be a nice trade to take, to be honest. Taking up to some higher levels. Don't come into these sessions expecting explicit calls to trades. I am not a signals provider. There's a lot of liability involved with me saying what I'm doing exactly. Yeah, just remember, like, make your, I'm showing you exactly the levels that would make sense in order to potentially get yourself into trades that would fit criteria. We had order flow realignment, came back down, realignment, and then this is the most ideal area to get involved, is right in this area. Once we basically swept, interacted, broke through, came back, mitigated, and away we go. Gone like the wind. A lot of SMC. Yeah, well, a lot of people thinking that this is just a structural level that needs to fucking take something. Like, that's not the case. We had poor delivery into it. Order flow realigned. We have nothing to target. Order flow is going this way. Get aligned with the money, right? Get aligned with the money. Order flow is so vital in what we do. All right, well, that's pretty well it for today. Likely, if you didn't get involved here, chances are this thing's gonna move without you. A lot of people going to be trading this short. A lot of people are going to get fucking hurt very badly. A lot of people are going to be getting very, very hurt. Feelings, bank accounts, ego. This is a bruiser right here. But it chalked, right? But order flow says that we have a weak 4-hour high. This is donezo. Poor delivery. Important part is, like, if you just look at this, right? And I know this is entry level, but like, you need to understand that, like, there's absolutely nothing that's going to pull the market this way. There's nothing. Higher time frame order flow is now switched to bullish. Align with the money. Well, enjoy the ride, guys. That's about all we can do right now. Bye-bye. Even this level, this is nothing. This is gonna fly. This is why, even with this move, this is why I took profits, like right here, right here, right here, because we have unmitigated demand levels. Order flow switch to bullish. We have absolutely nothing to target. We have unmitigated demand. Yeah, man, like this is scary territory. We're going to see a really good push, I think, on EU here. Yeah, all of these people still holding swings, all of these people holding swings. These guys are having a bad time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I've got Windows 11 that I'm running on through Parallels. It's been a little bit shoddy, if I'm being honest. But it's only a wick break. How many people? It's only a wick break. It's got to be a sweep. And then they trade here. They get smoked again. Can I ask you one thing about Trade Assistant after the session? Yeah, shoot me a message, Tom. Looking at the M15, would we be able to get involved off the flip that just happened? That's possible. It's possible. Like you're talking in here, Mike? Like on the 15, I don't think we're even going to come down that far, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's just too much liquidity resting above the highs. I think it's going to be going up shortly. I would say that, yeah, probably this 1 minute is what we're going to likely mitigate here, to be honest with you, and we should see some higher price right before the actual flip itself. There's just too much pulling the price up, but you could look at, you know, these levels if we did come down. I'm not saying to trade from here. I'm just like, I don't think we're going to even come down that far. There's just way too much pulling us this way. As I mentioned, it's game over, man. This thing's gonna fucking fly, I think. People shorten this wick now, 5-second chalk and flip probably. Oh yeah, justified. The extreme is still valid. Bang, she gone. She gone. Oh, there's the reaction. Bullish or bearish engulfing. Sell now. No, this is no good, man. Bullish order flow. Fuck, there's no sells in sight right now until order flow can reestablish. Like these highs, we're not even going to fucking stop here. I don't think it's done. Bad day for sellers, man. Very bad day for sellers. Sell now, cry later. Yeah. You can borrow my pillow to cry into if you need to, Afonso. Okay, good reaction. We can sell again. Confirmation. Bye. In your opinion, was the buy a few minutes not the best because price too high in the 1 minute leg, or valid because of all of the other details? So we could argue that this is like an order flow realignment. To be honest with you, like I was looking in here, and this ended up getting swept, and this is kind of where I took my loss. And yeah, right after it kind of like realigned, because I took a silly loss, I wasn't able to really look at this. So, but yeah, I mean, this is just order flow realigning. It's not like it's not the perfect setup in terms of like us coming into the premium, or sorry, the discount of the leg. We're not really reacting to anything. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's a way to get in for sure. It doesn't necessarily correlate directly with our plan. And I'll often say this, like you're going to see 100R moves without you. Our plan doesn't cover every single detail in the market. What it does is allow us to get in as safe as possible into very, very high probability setups, pro trend, pro order flow. So yeah, unfortunately, we just don't have a model for everything. And there's a way to get in and sort of interpret this. We had the order flow realignment. You could have potentially got involved here on the chalk and flip. But yeah, maybe something to put smaller risk on in the future. Exactly. Cool. Let's watch this 15. Here's fucking destroy everyone here. Well, at this point, if you're not in, there's probably not going to be any position for us today, unfortunately, and that's what we call life. So probably going to dip out shortly. We'll just let this thing do its thing. One thing I want to mention. So tomorrow, I'm actually heading to visit my parents, and they live 6 hours away. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to postpone tomorrow's lesson. I'm just going to push it back a few hours, just because we're going to be driving. So instead of it being at 12, we'll likely do it around 3 or 4 o'clock. I'll schedule it in. I'll put an announcement a little bit later on this afternoon. Again, it'll all be recorded. I don't want to just do like a recorded. I want to be able to have questions and stuff like that. So yeah, it will be pushed back. Anybody who's listening, just FYI, it's going to get pushed back a couple hours just for travel, but 100% we'll do it. It'll just be a little bit later on in the day, and I'll actually put the timing for it a little bit later on this afternoon. It's like watching paint dry, watching the train leave the station without you. You got all your bags packed, but it's the way she goes sometimes. That's trading. Get them tomorrow, get them next week. Okay, I'm going to dip out shortly, but I'll just throw in what I would be personally looking for now, because this is technically our sort of like new leg. I know it's just a wick break, but we can see that order flow is obviously super, super bullish. I would say that looking for anything down in this region, having a POI sort of mapped out like this, if you wanted to, this would be something that I would possibly trade with the right confirmations, of course. And then getting down onto my 1 minute, it's that entire range like this. So I would not look to trade this. It doesn't look like it's going to slow down, to be honest, but just want to give you guys some options, because I am going to dip. There's no point in watching this. Chances are it's going to take off. We won't be involved with it. But if it did come down into here, specifically into one of these 1 minute POIs, I would probably get involved on the seconds. And then furthermore, if we came just into the 15, I'd look for a 1 minute realignment and then be able to push a price from there. So like I said, absolutely no point in just staring at this. It looks like I'm sure we can all see from like the higher time frame that this thing is very much on the move. It's going to likely take out these highs. It's going to run for a day or two, and then we'll have to sort of reevaluate when we have pullbacks, and then we can start to look for some better positions if and when those sort of present themselves. So that's it for today. I will get this uploaded for you guys shortly. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little bit frustrating watching these things happen without you, but the bottom line is you need to follow rules. You got to have some sort of a system in place where you can actually trust the process. And for me personally, we didn't tick all the boxes. Probably, yeah, if I was alone, maybe I would have got involved on in something. It's just like I said, we're not reacting to any form of demand. It's just an order flow realignment. So yeah, again, that's just my thoughts, man. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this. And like I said, we're going to be postponing tomorrow's lesson. So I will put a note in the Discord server for everybody to kind of see. Have a good rest of your session. Do not force trades today. If there's a voice in the back of the head, it needs to be, don't be looking for sells. Wait for these things to realign. If it takes a day or two, do not stress. Sit on your hands, observe price, look at the areas that we basically reverse from, and understand whether or not there was something that you could have got involved in to be able to be positioned for the rest of the session. Have a good day. Catch you guys tomorrow.